Boom, boom. This is Kendra, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. All right, we got a bit of Bleach and Immortal today. So the event, treasure hunt event, is still now. The actual fights, which were the way that you achieved the actual keys, that ended yesterday. So the only thing is to finish. Make sure you use up all of your keys. You can purchase them, of course, inside of the recharge if you want to, but yeah, just this part is open, just the treasure hunt portion. I actually didn't do too bad. I actually got him once, so level 7, not too bad. But I got mainly what I wanted, which was what I wanted, the Omni Shards. I used to get some relics, relics that I could use to level up the Zangetsu source. But other than that, it's basically over. So season pass is going to be ending as well today too. Now this came the one for Renji. This came a little bit out of level there. They had to make some adjustments to the system, so it came out a little bit off angled, but still it had just enough. I mean, I got the last one today, so there was nowhere to spare on this. But really, all you needed to get was to 50. Once you get to 50, that's the 50. Unless you purchased the Elite Pass. If you did, then you got it a while back. But to get the final 10, to get the 50 to actually combine the character, you only needed to get to level 50, which you should have. But you can get all the way to 60 if you I didn't miss a day on it. So, but yeah, and it's just enough, because as you can see, we've only got 8 hours left, which means tomorrow this will be gone. So today's the last day. So if you haven't got the 50, you can claim, you can level up the thing. I think it only takes like something like, I can't remember if it's 100. I think it's 100 Soul Jade, I think. Or 1,000 Soul. I think it's 100 Soul Jade just to level up. But you want to make sure you get the 50, because 50 will allow you to get the 10 more shards you need to actually combine him and make the character. It's not a bad character, SSR character, but he has his uses. They're in there, they're usually pretty good support characters. All right, so let's take a look at what else we've got. So the treasure hunt is still up. Like I said, go ahead and do that. And the season 8 season pass will be ending today as well. Now, I'm not exactly sure what I think we're having a Soul Box event come out yet. I haven't been able to find out exactly what it is, but I've been hearing that it might possibly be for Fly Aizen. That's what I'm hearing, and maybe your core too, in the same Soul Box. So we'll have to see if that actually happens. But that would be good for me, because I actually do use your core V2, so that would be helpful for me in that term. So, but I've got a lot of Soul Jade, so the next time a Soul Box hits that's useful to me, I will actually be doing quite a pool on it. I decided to not go for Kazushini simply because there's some other characters that I'm looking to focus on at this moment that I've been putting off. So I'm going to actually have to take a look at those. A healer. I'm really considering going ahead and start focusing on the Euro version of Orihime. I do have her. I can bring her up to 4 stars and start working on her. But first I have to finish off Ichigo. This is the Dangai version of Ichigo. This is he's a nuker. I'm bringing him up. As you can see, I've already got him to green 1. And I'm starting to utilize him inside of the squad boss and inside of the character event when it comes up. He's still not quite survivable on the squad boss, but I can get to like 8. So once I have him up to probably green 3, he'll be survivable. At green 1, he's already surpassed Yamamoto. Ichi's 105, Yamamato's at 102. So as you can see, in terms Yamamoto is actually 1 more star, 5 star. So that should tell you how strong he is. Also, his rage is more single target centric, so he does a lot more damage to 1 target. In terms of all of these, Tensei Zangetsu, Full Hollow Ichigo, White Ichigo, Urquhart, and Sazi, their rage is Kenpachi's hits in a column, so he hits 2. But all these others are, when their rage hits, it hits everybody. It's a full AoE rage. Dangai's is not. His is actually more focused, as is Kenpachi's. But in terms of damage, he's going to far exceed Kenpachi. Kenpachi is probably going to be who is replaced with Dengai Ichigo, simply because I need to keep my tanks. I need to keep Urokurza because he throws a shield. You need to keep Zazie because he's a tank, and when he dies, he comes back to life the first time. Plus, his DOT with his poison is immense. Okay, Full Hollow Ichigo is a frontliner for the Rage. He's very survivable. He regenerates Rage and regenerates health, so that makes him survivable. Since Zangetsu and White Ichigo just do a lot more damage, straight damage on their Rage than Kenpachi. So most likely he's going to be the one replaced. I've had several people in my chat pretty much confirm what I was thinking. Kenpachi's he's a good character, but if you look at the top teams in PvP, and you're going to find out that they generally do not have Kenpachi. He is one of the easiest UI characters to build, and you should be using him all the way through to in-game, and you can use him in in-game, and he will work. Okay, but in terms of damage dealing, he's just slightly less than the newer characters. So that's why I'm switching, and that's why I started to notice that in the last one that he was a little bit more, his damage wasn't quite as high as the others per character. So that's just why. So he'll probably be the ones that are replaced. And like I said, I've had several people suggest replacing Kenpachi with Dengai Ichigo. Everybody says Kenpachi is the one to replace, and that's the way I'm leaning. I also do not have Kenpachi's weapon. I don't know how to get it. The only way I can see to get it is a UR shard box. It's not offered anywhere. I mean, they offer shards for the character inside the Kenpachi contest, which is why he's easy to promote, because you can actually get his I'll be able to take him up. As you can see, I'm already well on way to a 7-star, simply because of the fact that you can purchase 20 shards inside of the Kenpachi shop, each time. So for those of you who don't know where that's at, if you go down to the shop, it's the Kenpachi contest. I just purchased 20 shards of him today because it reset. And I just purchased, for 30. I just purchased 20 more of his shards. Haniko's in there this way. So if you're working on Matsumoto, this is her weapon. So if it's something that you might want to do, but she's not a bad character. Starting in the game, she is an SSR, of course, so she's not as powerful as the others. They also got a good War Soul. This does attack, defense, and hit points and heal rate. So if you're having a character in your team that's having trouble surviving, this isn't a very good a choice, because it gives you a little bit of defense and hit points as well as heal rate. So this is a pretty good War Soul for any of your weaker characters that that you're currently using. Don't worry, you can take it off and put it on somebody else. So once you attach a War Soul, it's not permanent. All right, so that in terms of my team, that's where I'm at right now. I'm focusing on Dengai. Once I get him up, I'm probably going to go ahead and start switching off to get a healer, and that is going to be the UR version of Orihime right here. Okay, I've got enough to take her up to 4-star to get her passive and then start working on her. She is not a character that you can obtain. The only time you can get her is through the events, special events. She originally was Christmas Orihime. I had to spend money. I actually had to spend. I've spent like 26 bucks on this game. 6 of it was for this cutie right here, because when they first, this was the scandal that Bleach first had, where they had the first major event, which was the Christmas event, and the way the grid was keyed, you could not get the character without purchasing the up reward, which is the inside of the recharge. It's purchasing the daily recharge. You had to actually purchase it simply because of the fact that you would not be able to clear the grid. You were going to come up about 5 shards short of actually getting the character unless you purchased the recharge. I did purchase the recharge, and that's how I was able. This is the recharge. It was only 99 VIP points for her recharge, so it only cost 99 cents to actually recharge. I did it 6 times for a total of, I think it was $5.94 was what the total was, and I was able to get the 6 shards needed, and I was able to complete her. I really wanted her because there are no UR healers in the game except for her. The other healers that they have, the best healer in the game besides her is SSR Unohana, which I do have and which I am currently using right here. Okay, she's a good healer. I've got her weapon. She does an excellent job, but she primarily focuses on healing. Orihime has a lot of support characteristics that make her much better, plus she heals more. So I'm bringing her up right now, but the only way to get shards for her is Omni Shards or through the events. You will see shards for her in the shop of pretty much all of the events that come out. Okay, so, but yeah, maybe one day they'll have her. Hopefully this Christmas event, maybe they'll have her again. You know, they had Rukia and her. So, but you can get shards for her as you go through the events. So that's, and I was going to build her up last time, but I decided to switch to Dangai Ichigo simply because I really like it. I really like Ichigo. And as you can see, you can get shards for her through the events. I have enough right now. I only need 68 shards. I do have enough Omni Shards to take her up to 4-star. And you want to make sure that you have something for 4-star, simply because of that. Okay? And she just has a bunch of healing and a bunch of support that she offers. So, yeah, definitely something to look for as your team. Another that you might want to look for is another specialty character that offers a lot of support is, this was the anniversary Ichigo. He was the free character, actually, if you completed the event, which was just basically really simple. It was like the 7-day event. You only had to complete like 5 days to get enough points to actually combine the character. After the scandal that occurred at the Christmas event, they now have they'll have 2 characters in each event, and one of those characters will be free. This one, Ichigo, was one, and another one was a version of Matsumoto right here. No, that's the wrong Matsumoto. There's another Matsumoto out there. Let me get to the main screen here so I can see better. That is was offered in the actual event. This one right here, your version of Matsumoto. Again, these are good characters. These are very, very good characters. They're not in terms of doing a lot of damage, but they offer a lot of support. Okay, they offer, increasing your attack, making damage reduction and things like that. So they do offer a lot of support. So they're very good characters. You will see that a lot of people are using him inside of Squad Boss. Bringing him up is an excellent. One of the Squad Boss teams that is on my server right now, doing immense amount of damage. It's something like almost twice as much damage as I'm doing, and he uses Ichigo in his actual Squad Boss. He's got Dangai Ichigo in there, and surprisingly enough, he has an SSR character in there. This one, the SSR version of he has that in the Squad Boss, and he's doing so much damage. And the reason he does that is because the skills that this guy offers. Okay, so there are ways, some of these characters, that specialty characters. Now you could only get that in the season pass. It was a season pass character. I think it was the last one. It was the last one or the one before last, but I think it was the last one right before Renji. So these characters that they're offering the season pass do have usefulness. Okay, so they're not completely useless characters, but they're only SSR characters. And really the only way to get shards for them is, through Omni Shards. But he uses that inside the Squad Boss. So those characters do have use. They're not completely useless. So if you're focusing on those characters, you should continue to do so. And they will, if you can get them up there and make them useful, then you can definitely use them in certain facets of the game. Okay, they're not useful for all facets of the game. But yeah, so that's where I'm at. So I'm bringing up Dangai Ichigo. Once I have him up to, I'll bring him up level with these. And I've got his weapon. We had the soul box. I got all but 13 shards that I needed. Then they had the event with the Karakurtian, and I managed to snatch up the 13 more shards that I needed. So I do have his weapon. So I will be bringing him up. I'll max him out just like everybody else, and then I'll do the math. Who's doing more damage? It's pretty much everybody has said it's going to be him. That's definitely an indication. So, and then and that's who I'll replace. I move him in. and that's just, that's the way you do it. We're getting to the point where, soul boxes are becoming a lot more commonplace. So you can get the weapon. Really, soul boxing is the only way to get the weapon. They just don't, they're just really not offered. You could get the shard box, shard box in the events, but you have to pay money. They are out of reach, slightly out of reach, unless you have a super high power team. And the only way to get a super high power team is to get multiple copies of the weapon so that you can double enhance it. And then you start getting, that's when you start getting the power. So that's what you're facing. So soul boxes are very important, and you should always participate in a soul box, most especially if it's one of your characters. I spent in the Tensa Zangetsu soul box was very fortuitous. I spent about almost like 20,000 soul jade, but I got his weapon, and I have one more copy of his weapon, and I have the shards on that second copy, which will allow me to awaken. As you can see, I've already got one. And I'm very close to making that second weapon, so I'll be able to double awaken the weapon, which will, of course, increase his power immensely. He is one of the most powerful characters in the game. His follow-up attack, so he basically does double damage on his rage. He slashes him once and then slashes him again, so he does a ton of damage. He was my most powerful character even before I had his weapon awakened. So that should indicate. So yeah, so he's the beast right now. As you know, I completed 26. I've got a few I got to go back to 3-star, and then that last one I've got to go back, and I only 1-starred it, but I did complete it, so no big deal. But 27 hasn't came out yet, I don't think, so there's really no point in rushing. Yes, 27 has come out, so I'll probably go ahead and accelerate a little bit through this. Right now I'm just working on the weapons. That's all I can do at this point, is the weapons. Once I've got the weapons done, I'll go back and then I'll focus. I can do some character enhancements right now, but I can't because I think 1 or 2 of the actual levels that I only 2-starred, you need to 3-star before you can sweep them. And I prefer to do all of my character enhancements via sweeping. So we'll have to see. But yeah, so that's where we're at. But yeah, so this is up for another day. Okay. 2 days actually. It'll be up again tomorrow. And then we'll see the next event. I'll try to do a video once I can find out exactly what's going to happen next, and then we'll go from there. Hopefully it'll be the soul boxes, but it should be a soul box event. We're just not exactly sure who. You have to wait until they drop the actual photo, and then the leak team will data mine the game, data mine the source, and see exactly what pictures they're getting, and then they can determine a little bit, usually a few days in advance, as to what's going to happen. Because they post, they start posting the stuff that they need, the graphics and all that stuff. You start seeing things for new characters and stuff, so they can then begin to exposit what's coming next. And they're very accurate, actually. So, but once I find out, I'll let you know. But I just want to go ahead and do a video and let everybody know that the treasure hunt box is still open. So please make sure to use all of your keys before that goes away. Also, today's last day for the season pass, so if you want Renji and you didn't get the 50 shards, you're going to need to go ahead and purchase some level ups with some soul jade. Okay? And in terms of that, another event up is, of course, another Gacha Bonanza. So you definitely want to do this. You want to do 20 times a day. So do 20 today, and then do 20 tomorrow, and that will get you to where you need to be so that you can get the 5 Omni shards which play out here. Okay, because you need 40 or 50, so you need to do 20 one day, 30 one other day, and that will get you all of the Omni shards that this event has to offer. If you want to go a little farther, you can get some Awakening Essence, but I just shoot for the Omni shards because it's 3, 2, which is 5, and then this for 2 days. Okay, so that's what you can get out of it. So you can usually get you should be able to walk away with at least 7 to 9 shards. So that's what you want to shoot for. You should be able to do it with tokens if you're saving your tokens. I mean, you get tokens each day doing your dailies, so you should be saving up more than enough tokens to do it. I never have to spend soul jade on the Gacha event. I always just use the tokens that I have. They usually build it up. I know when I'm seeing about 60 tokens that there's going to be a Gacha event coming up. I can pretty much tell you exactly when it's going to happen, just based on how many tokens I have. I'll use all these tokens, and it won't cost many soul jade, and I'll get all of the Omni shards. So free Omni shards, can't do any more for that. Okay. So yeah, so get in there, knock that out. Make sure you do it. You know, get the 20 you need for today, and then it'll reset. And you know, you get the rest of the shades that you need. So make sure that you do 20 and 30 to get the 50 to get the maximum amount of shards that you need. All right. So again, thanks a lot for watching. Remember to subscribe to the channel. Once you subscribe, you'll see the bell. If you click on the bell, YouTube will go ahead and send you a video each time, or send you a message each time I do post a video. And always remember to like and share the video, as that does help the channel immensely. So this is Kenrick coming at you from the corner, signing out.